Cheers! Welcome to my channel. This is a mid-month for the month of December Tarot Oracle reading. And Taurus, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Taurus, we still all have a little bit of Taurus in us. If you have your birth chart, which house is Taurus in? That is where this energy shows up for you. My goal is to provide valuable information to empower you. I've already washed the cards and shuffled. I'm just giving them a quick cut here. And we'll begin with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck. And we have reconciliation. So this is the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is about reconciliation, reuniting, that kind of energy. The Six of Cups is... it looks like there might be two children playing here together, but when you look more closely, you see this is actually a gnome, and this is an old lady, and it's so there's some illusion here. It's not, everything is not the way it seems to be. It looks like maybe there's a guard overlooking and watching the children, but when you look closer, he's actually walking away. So there's a bunch of discrepancies in it, and so this card is talking about possibly reuniting with people or reconciling after hardship between you. But the thing is that with this card is that forgiveness is a choice, and it's something that people do. And so you can choose to forgive someone, but you don't necessarily have to reconcile with them. The forgiveness is the first step to reconciliation, however. So we'll see. We'll see what this is about. Okay, the very first card out again here. Sorry, I was putting it in the wrong spot. This is the Ace of Pentacles. And the Ace of Pentacles is a gift from the universe. It's a gift from God. It's a reward for following your North Star. It's about health, wealth, happiness that is brought down from the heavens to earth for you. It's about staying on your path here, like going through this laurel archway. And you can see going through that path, that represents staying on your divine path. And because you've stayed on your divine path, which we call following the North Star, then you are receiving this gift for that. So, and there's something about reconciliation. We'll see. Oh, and we have the Ten of Pentacles, which is the most pentacles you can get. So that's what the gift is. Which is a pretty huge gift. So this, it's interesting because this and this are similar. So this feels almost like something you thought you could have, and then something happened and you couldn't, and now you're reconciling to have it. Because this, look at the energy, there's the same energy of stopping to talk, and this is like, there's a mansion in the background, there's pets, you have time to talk to your neighbors, but like it's kind of that same sort of energy. So I feel like maybe this is like a second chance for something. Now this card here, this is the underlying for the entire reading, and this card is the underlying energy for this bottom half. This is representing the internal forces, the things that you have control over. The internal forces are like what keeps you awake at night, saying, what if, what if, what if, what if, what if I do this, what if I do that, what if I accept that, what if I don't, that kind of energy. So we'll see where this is going. Then we have action. So this is talking about actions that you've taken in the past and you've launched them, and now they're about to land. That's the energy, and they're being launched sort of towards this. So this could be an explanation of why this is happening. You maybe took actions in a business or something you were doing, a project, whatever, and or we don't know yet, but we'll see. And this is the eight of Wands is also about conception. So we'll see about that. Okay, so what is, I feel like this has to do with why would people have to reconcile? So when I look at this card, I mean, it looks disturbing, but when you look closer, you realize that the heart is actually really big. These swords are really actually quite small, and these represent thoughts. And so I feel, and when I look at this card, like it was like, oh, is that a cliff with a cloud? No, I feel like it's more like shoulders and neck and someone's head. And this is like the heart is in their throat. So they can't, it was either, there were words that were said that were unforgivable, is the words that are coming up. And then there was also this energy of possibly the subconscious, unconscious, and conscious mind coming together now. The subconscious mind is the thoughts that you've had since you were a very young child, like born till about 7. And those thoughts really, they're constantly with us, but they're really not our thoughts, because most people don't remember what happened to them at that age. And it's actually the people that were looking after you. It was their thoughts about who they thought you were. And then we have the subconscious or the unconscious mind, which is regarding like your spirit. Like a lot of people think, oh, I'm a human being with a soul, but you're actually a soul that's traveling in a human body. So the soul has requirements also. The soul comes onto the earth, and your body is the vehicle for getting around to have these experiences to perfect itself. And then we have the conscious thoughts that we have, and the conscious thoughts that we have are like a combination of all of it, right? And the heart, and like scientists have discovered now that the heart actually does have a brain also. So this is your central nervous system, and this is your heart. And when those come together, the energy is like, that's when you can really get to the truth. But I feel like what happened is some words were said, or there was something that happened. This sometimes can be a threesome, like in love, because these are like pinpricks into the heart. This can also represent some sort of energy of like forgiveness and like of what something or what someone said, that kind of energy. And then we have the Four of Pentacles. So I'm getting it's not necessarily what was said to you, but said about you. And that caused you to possibly lose. Some action was taken, that words were said, that caused you to end up with only 4 pentacles after having this many. This is saying that I feel that there's a chance of you reconciling, not necessarily with someone, but you might be reconciling what your heart's desires are with what your thoughts are. And you've taken action on that. And because of that now, this is representing a strong foundation for money and health and wealth and happiness. But having said that, it's saying like you're playing it safe. It's probably after some action was taken that wasn't in your best interest. And this card can also represent a heartbreaking decision was made. So we'll see some more here. We have the King of Cups. So the King of Cups is the most emotionally available of all the kings in the minor arcana. The King of Cups is sitting, that's the water that he's sitting on here. He's out in the middle of the water on his throne on a cement, it looks like a cement or block or whatever. And he is totally at peace. He doesn't care about the emotions around him. He's got a cup of love, and he wants to deliver it. And he's waiting for the exact moment. That's the energy I'm feeling here. He's ready to get up at a moment's notice, but he is like in this stage. And I feel like this is some sort of action that was taken. Maybe these, like the words that we say, we can't take them back. My grandma always used to say, watch your words, because you can't take them back. Once they're said, they're said. And she was wise. But anyway, that's the kind of energy that I'm picking up. And I'm also, the King of Cups is very emotionally available. But having said that, if the King of Cups is like betrayed in some way, he's most likely to be the one that holds like a major grudge. And then we have the Hermit. So some time has passed. The Hermit goes up to the top of the mountain to consult with God. and to say, what should I do about this situation? Like, what I'm like, should I reconcile? Shouldn't I reconcile? Like, what's going on here? And it's really interesting because, we have the King with the cup here of love, but the rest, we have the reconciliation about the love, but the rest is pentacles and actions that were painful. So I feel like this could possibly have been an argument over money, or I don't know, something like that. There's 6 cups here and they're full of the flowers. And like, it's like an offering, like a peace offering. This is like innocence, like the white flowers represent that. And then she's wearing a little white mitt. So, that's also representing, like, she doesn't want to get her hands dirty, basically, like, So so it's kind of like, and then that's, the hand here is white. I don't know. I feel like there's something was, I'm getting, something was not obvious, or something was very hidden. It was an illusion. Perhaps the King of Cups believed some gossip or something about someone, and then it broke their marriage up or whatever. Like, it could be something like that. Or maybe there was a threesome and there was gossip and then it got out, and then the King of Cups is trying to decide, should I forgive or not? Or maybe the King of Cups was the one that did the threesome. You know what I mean? So it's hard to say yet. We can't, there's not enough cards out yet. But this is internal boundaries. So this is what's happening inside. Like, if this is you, if this has happened to you, or you are the one that perpetrated it or whatever, and you want reconciliation and you're trying to get forgiveness here, this is talking about what's required, like, from you to be able to get this reward. But it's interesting, again, because it just doesn't really feel about love so much, like, yet anyway. It feels like love for something that because the cups can also represent really loving to do something, like for a career or whatever. And, so we'll see. This could be a reconciliation between partners in a business or something like that also. So the Hermit's up at the top of the mountain, and the Hermit doesn't come down until he gets enlightenment from God. And that's why his staff now is like golden, because it has the action. This represents action. The action that he takes is going to be after he consulted with the Most High, and perhaps that's when this pentacle, this next a new opportunity came in, and that would be like almost like 9 wands then. This represents for yourself. This represents your how you see yourself, your self identity as someone that's affluent and a family person, and like, there's two dogs here, and they're white also, so that's innocence again. They kind of stick out here also. And then this is how do you value yourself? And so it could have been there's some sort of threesome or something, and you value yourself enough to say, I'm not doing this. This was heartbreaking. It was unforgivable. And they had to split up the money. And now and what's interesting is there's 10 pentacles here, there's 6 cups here, and there's 4 pentacles left here. So it could represent some sort of divorce. This position here is about communication, and how we learn to communicate when we're young, who we're told we are, right? That kind of energy. And then we have this position is about your emotional foundation. And the King represents someone that has a strong emotional foundation, that doesn't give in to emotions very easily. He's usually someone that can really be trusted, but everybody makes mistakes. So perhaps he made a mistake. This position is about your creativity, like what you go outside to do, and also about your romantic life. And he might have stepped out, and maybe like there's this can also be about children. So, maybe like these 2 children don't look like they're related, even though one's a gnome and one's an old lady. But it's just a very Yeah, there was some illusion here, and now there's light. So the hermit went up to the mountain. This is talking about like habits, and like this could be something that maybe that you or the king, if you are the king, or you're one of these people here, you could be maybe the child of a situation like this. There could be something like that. This is a general collective reading, so recognize it's for Taurus. And the Taurus energy is that of a toddler. So it's about learning to give and take in life, and it's about Venus and all the beautiful things that, you know, that money can buy on the physical earth. Taurus energy is also like, if you think about a toddler wanting to get their way, and then if they don't get their way, they stamp their foot. The Taurus energy is represented by the steer horns or bulls. And it's kind of energy like a bull in a china shop kind of energy, you know? Like imagine a toddler that throws a fit in a temper tantrum in a china shop. That kind of energy. That's kind of what's happening here. But the sun comes in, and this is the happiest card in the deck. Now, this is the underlying energy for the energy that's coming in from outside now. And this is the external, like external forces. So it's kind of like if you're wondering, hey, what the EF happened here? Like, what happened? I don't even know what happened. And I think it's had this huge effect on my life. This is at least saying that God is here, that you're a child of God is what I'm getting. And this banner that this child is carrying, it's a big banner, like it's heavy probably, but the child is able to handle it with ease. He's on his pony, so he's able to move forward with ease. And look he's like no hands, like he's not afraid at all. And the sunflowers in the background on the wall represent following God's path for you, like your divine path. So maybe someone got off the divine path. You might have been off your divine path, or with someone that went off their divine path, and now they've gone back up to the mountain to confer with God, and they are taking God's advice now, which this card is talking about, okay, moving forward in a very different way. And this energy, we have, this is a mid-December, so between 10th and 20th kind of energy of December, just before the holidays really kick in. And this energy, he's standing on his castle. Like, so this is someone that's been successful, but this energy is of big fish in a little pond, like someone that's mastered their small town, but now they're ready to move on and tackle a city or two, you know? And sometimes this represents like leaving one behind. Is like, okay, I've done everything I can here. I'm holding the world in my hands. I want to expand. I want to expand my horizons. I want to go do different things. So this could be, maybe there's like a high school or, you know, like reunion or something. And this guy left when, you know, he was a very young man, and he already had mastered. And then he comes back to the high school reunion, and he has lots of money now, and he runs into the person that he thought, you know, like childhood love or something, you know, like that kind of energy. I don't know. That's I'm kind of picking up that energy now, but I'm laughing because. It sounds like it's so out there, but I'm just telling you what I'm picking up myself, like from my own intuition. And then we have the death here. I'm also laughing because it feels really happy. Like it feels like, you know, like if you were reading or watching a movie and it was just, the plot was so obvious that you got bored kind of energy, because come on, like this doesn't, you know, like love at first sight energy, kind of like that. But not, maybe more like, you hear about people like really like meeting someone when like they're in school or whatever, when they're young, and saying, you know, like little kids saying, I'm going to marry him. It's usually the girl. And he, you know, like, you know, and it's just kind of, oh, it's just little kids sort of thing, energy. That's what I'm picking up, like an innocence here. And then, so there's death card comes up. So the death card, maybe this person's coming back to for a funeral of some kind. You know, it could, that's funerals also unite people. And perhaps someone in the village that was well known or whatever has passed and he wants to come pay his respects. The Grim Reaper is a symbol that many cultures have as the card of death. Now this card doesn't often mean like, death, like it looks a little like people see it and they're like, ah. No, it usually means transition. And it's about rebirth, birth, and death. So it's about out with the old, in with the new. And we are coming across the, like we're almost at the end of 2025. And 2025 is 2 + 2 + 5 is 9. That's the end of a cycle. This represents the end of a cycle. And then we're also moving into 2026, which adds up to 10. And that's the beginning of a whole new cycle. So the energy from 2025 to 2026 is going to be very different. We don't know how yet. But that's kind of energy, because this is an astrological reading, and I've been picking this energy up a lot, and I feel like people need to recognize this, like, because sometimes like the years just kind of merge into each other, you know. But when you come to a 9, the end of a cycle, and you're moving into a new one, this is really hopeful, because this is the happiest card in the deck. So let's all pray to God that 2026 is a way more fun than 2025 has been. 2025 has been pretty challenging. The thing is about moving into this energy, being, you know, like a young toddler, like in that energy, it's kind of like, because you're not going to move like, if you're an adult, you're not going to start all over again because it's a new cycle. You're going to take what you learned in your life and then you're going to apply it. But if you look at the toddler energy, it's like, you know, not the most stable energy. Like toddlers don't like to share. They want to, you know, they have to learn to give and take. They have to learn to share, that kind of energy. And like if they don't get their way, they'll throw temper tantrums. And at the same time, they're so adorable most of the time that, and it's so much fun being around toddlers, really, because they're learning so much. That's when they're asking why, you know, like that constant questioning. And that's kind of the energy I feel 2026 is going to be. And hopefully it won't be like, why did this happen to me? It'll be more like, why is this happening? Why is that happening? With the innocence of a young child. So I feel like that energy has been coming up a lot in my readings. And the universe is saying this is a gift, because you have all this knowledge now and you're going to be able to bring that into a new way of being on the planet. And so like some people are going to turn away from it because they don't want to do things new. And quite often the older you get, the less flexible you are that way. Not always though. There's a lot of people that are younger. So this isn't talking about age, it's talking about attitude, stage of life attitude. And then we have the small child, like they're like, hey, look at that. And they're offering a bloom. It's like, hey, this is all going to be new. And this represents there's also going to be a lot of changes, like in the world development, like how the governing of the planet energy, because the king has been run over here. And things that you thought would never come to an end are coming to an end. Like traditional things that we're used to. So that's challenging energy to get through. And then we have conviction beyond a doubt. So this action, there's 7 wands there and there's 8 here. So 6 of them have landed and he's still struggling with the 7th. This is about I really feel like this because he's got 2 different shoes on. This is showing that he's in one world and in the other. So not quite all the way through. But this card is talking about conviction beyond a doubt. So there's some sort of choice or something happening here that for you might be like, okay, you've made your decision now. Perhaps someone in the family, maybe someone did pass and there were, you know, it was a grandparent or your parent, and they have left you money, so that you'll be able to take that money now and be able to do whatever this is that you've always wanted to be able to do. And this is talking about rowing off to calmer waters. So this energy is the rough water here represents kind of this water here that the king is on. But there's 6 swords here, and like these ones are, there's 2 people here, and I feel it has something to do with that energy, healing something maybe about that. So this person is going off to taking the boat. They don't have a lot of baggage with them. I feel a lot of the time this is about healing of your inner child, because there's a small child with them but no baggage. And this pole here just represents how deep you had it. You notice that it's very similar on the same angle here as these ones, this one and this one. So this is like the energy of, yes, I'm moving on, I'm leaving this small town, or I did, and I just coming back for a reunion of some sort. I feel like there's been maybe a funeral, or I don't get a marriage. I get more like a funeral, a high school reunion, that kind of energy. And then we have the Page of Wands. And the Page of Wands is looking at this action also. See, they're all about action now here from the external forces. So perhaps, like, do you notice that, like, there's this here, actions, and I feel like this represents actions from the past that caused heartache and a loss of money, and that you had to learn to be emotionally stable and sort of confer with God kind of energy. And this is when you decide, okay, maybe it happened when you were young, a young man or a young woman, and you decided to move on and end, you know, what you were doing here and go off to new adventures, basically. Because the Page of Wands, and this is the first communication we have here. So this could have been an invitation to come here, or the message that someone passed or something like that. And this energy is like he's looking at his wand and he's admiring it. And this is the energy of someone that thinks with their small head. So this is a very passionate young man. This is someone, a Page of Wands is someone that's under the age of 21. And he's very well dressed, and he's but he likes action, and he's passionate about it, and he's got a feather in his cap. So that means, like, I feel like he was already, like, this, that could represent this money here, because it's right across, that he already had a real stable foundation for being able to do what he wanted, and had gone off and done that. I just feel like this Page of Wands energy, and remember that these are archetypes. So this could be a woman in her masculine energy, and this could be you know, a young woman in her masculine energy. And then we have the King of Wands. Interesting. So the pages worked for the kings, though. So it's not like when you're like, you don't become a king when you're a knight or a page. You work for the king. So it could be something about a business, again, like something that you know, it doesn't have to be romantic love. There's not actually, the only cups out here are these 2. And the rest are about action and pentacles. And so it could have been, but there's a lot of happiness here. So the King of Wands is the most charismatic of all of the kings. He's a visionary. He's the sort of person that would leave when he was young because he wanted to discover new things. He has salamanders on the back and lions on the back of his throne here, and that represents protection from fire. He's ready to go at a moment's notice, and he's the sort of guy that you wouldn't kick out of bed for eating crackers. This is someone, out of all the kings, this one is the most likely to be a player. Not so traditional about his, the way that he, like, you know, oh, I have to get married and settle down energy. More like, I like adventure. I like I like a smorgasbord. And because he's good looking and charismatic, he can get what he wants. Usually he's very charming. It's that kind of energy. He's also very, someone that's an innovator and someone that can really bring life to the party, life to a business, you know what I mean? Like it'd be something that other people wouldn't have the skill set to do. So it's someone that is like an entrepreneurial spirit, like someone who likes to really do new things and isn't afraid to take on challenges kind of energy. So we'll see here. I hope you're enjoying this reading. I am. I find it really fascinating. I want to get to the point here where we clarify now. This, you know, if you are enjoying the reading, please do hit the like button and comment if you would like to. It really does help me to build my channel. I really do appreciate it. And I'm going to be clarifying this. I'm just tuning the energy of my oracle cards into this energy. I shuffled them before too, but I want to clarify this energy that we have here. And so these are from Tales from the Vector, and it is courtesy of the Intergalactic Federation of Light. I started it back in 2007. I'm an artist. I painted big dragon paintings, a lot of them, and it took me till 2020 to complete the paintings. I've had these cards out at psychic fairs, seminars, lots of them, but now they weren't done at that time, and now they are. I have all the paintings done. I have most of the information written up, but I wanted to play with them for a bit before I finish, because I'm bringing the deck out, and I want to make sure that I have the information that's correct on them. So these cards usually, this energy. So what is this about? What is this about? Let's see. Okay, so, and I just wanted to say that I will have, whoop, there we go. That's the card that's coming out. Okay, so we have the Chariot. Okay, so the power of spin. So this energy is regarding it's the energy of things happening more quickly now. You're on your divine path, and you are like this is like in process now. Whatever happened at this event or whatever, this reconciliation card, that has set whatever this all is into motion, and it's happening quickly. Sometimes this can also represent legalities, so we'll see about that. I was saying before that card jumped out that I have the numbers on the cards, and I will list them down below in the description box. So if you, in the order that they appear. So if you want to look into them more, you can do that at tailsfromthevector.com, TAILS from thevector.com. So let's see. We've got the Hierophant on this money, this reward. So the Hierophant usually represents someone from traditional structure, someone like a judge, like someone really high up in the church, if it's about a spiritual matter. It's representing like someone that places judgment and justice and puts authority into place, like keeps making sure that there's law and order and that there's structure to you know, there's a system. This is the way we deal with these things, that kind of energy. So that could represent if someone passed and there was a will to be read or something. It could be something like along those lines. And then we have the Libra energy. So this is the mature adult. This is someone that is ready to get married. That's the age that they're at. And Libra energy is about justice. That's who holds the scales. So it could be that this is about a business or something also. And maybe the business is being passed down, you know, from one generation to another. Because usually when people have this type of money, it quite often can be generational wealth, like a legacy. Gemini energy. So the Gemini full moon just came into being. And so maybe that was on December 4th. I'm doing that reading. This is before that because I'm getting it ready to put out for the middle of the month, which is between, I wanted to get it out at least by the 8th or the 9th, because the 10th to the 20th is kind of the time frame. And this energy is like from the full moon that came up on December 4th, or is coming up here as I do this reading. And so the Gemini energy is like also kindergarten. So it's kind of like the Taurus energy is the toddler, but now the toddler is in kindergarten. So there's been some learning happened. And this is about creative solutions and logic. So the swords represent logic, and the heart is like your heart's desires. So maybe some action was taken towards something, and the heartbreak could just be as simple as someone that whose parent or someone close to them, a grandparent or something passed, and they come back for the funeral, and there's a will being read. That's coming up. Like it could be something like that. But of course, then the lovers comes in. So yeah, it could be, but it also could be about lovers. Could have been a threesome. Could have been grandpa that had a threesome. You never know, right? So it happens. So. But of course, just as I'm saying that, it's like, no, it could be about love too. And then the Emperor. So the Emperor is all about performance. The energy, I feel like that's similar to the energy of the King of Wands. Now, the King of Cups and the King of Wands could be the same person. This could be someone that has both those qualities, like someone that is really good in control of their emotions and very loving. Or maybe the King of Cups was the person that passed, and this is, or it could be either way. And remember, it also could be a woman. It could be a grandmother or, that kind of energy. But the Emperor is sitting on the stability of this money here, like the strong foundation and ability to bring that into being. This energy, I feel like, is somewhat of, it's not unusual because we just ended a Mercury retrograde at the end of November, and this energy sort of it causes people to come back from the past, like people that you haven't heard from a long time might contact you out of the blue, that kind of energy, or going back to a reunion or something like that. We have the Wheel of Fortune, so this is about synchronicity. The wheel's turning, past, present, and future. So this energy could have just happened with you. It could be about to happen, or it is happening right now as we speak. And so watch for synchronicities from the universe. Some people call those synchronicities coincidence, but people who call synchronicity coincidence rarely enjoy the benefits of that, because they're not paying attention to their intuition as well as their logic. And there's some anger here. So this is on the Hermit. So somebody's angry about something, and that energy is coming in. Anger is passed down from generation to generation to generation. And so in some families, it can even cause high blood pressure, like being passed down, because when people are angry all the time. And so I'm just picking up sort of that kind of energy. Like there might have been something, maybe the person that passed, if it's a funeral, that there's some reason why the family's angry about it. Maybe they didn't get good care when they were sick or something like that, or there was an accident, and maybe there was like an unfortunate accident and someone was careless or was under the influence or something, and that's horrible energy. And then the Foolhardy is about, it's sitting right here to define the external forces here. And foolhardy energy is you're on your path that you are supposed to be on now. And this is from God. So even if this was some sort of accident or something, and you got money from it, this is saying that that was the natural course of life, and that you should anticipate the journey coming up. This card, this position of moving on to new, is about commitment, relationships, marriage, partnerships with in business also. And the Death card is in transition. This is transition happening. This is basically Scorpio energy. So this energy is about a major transition has happened, and it could be again because there was a funeral, or there was that a company has transferred hands or was sold or something like that. We have the higher learning and travel, like making that decision. So this decision could be for some of you just now you're doing this now. It wasn't when you were younger and you left, but you always wanted to leave. You always wanted to have this adventure, and now you're going to go have it because you have the money because someone passed and left you money. Or you sold your business and decided, now I'm going to go travel the world kind of energy. Then we have this energy is rowing off to calmer shores with God. That kind of energy is about your career, your reputation, your public image. So it may be like you're hanging your hat and you're retiring, and now you want to just chill out and travel and have not have all these issues, to deal with, and you have enough money to do so. And so this also could be that, this energy here is about enjoying, I feel like, new friends, young, like a new innovative way of thinking. In the background, we have the pyramids, and that's like the mysteries of life. I'm getting that this is someone that could be someone that has retired from a business and you just want to go travel the world now. That's really awesome energy. And then we also have this about the King of Wands. I feel like this is kind of this energy here. This is something that you've always wanted, and now it's coming into place. Let's just clarify. We have judgment. Yeah, some sort of judgment came down. So it could have been a judgment about a business. It could have been legalities, like we said in the beginning. And all of a sudden now the legalities are done, and whatever money you lost is being returned to you. So you're able to move into a different way. That would be, the transition would be like, okay, the judgment has been made and now you're unfettered. You can do what you want. It took courage. That's the battle star. So this energy is talking about having the courage to go for what you want, and also having the courage to hang in there. Maybe if you were in some sort of disagreement or whatever. The innocence, so someone was found innocent and there's conviction beyond a doubt. So that's the kind of energy that's also coming in, that maybe the king or left because because the love of his life had a threesome, but then it was just gossip. And he found out now, oh my God, that never happened. I'm coming back there and I'm going to see if she wants to go travel the world with me. Could be that kind of energy. And she could be he and he could be a she. Because the star is all about kind of following your divine path now. You're on anticipate what you want, that you get to have. Like this, the pentacles don't just represent money. They represent health, wealth, happiness, abundance, like a fulfilling life. And then we have the Hermit. So the Hermit is just saying again here, that energy of the Hermit here, that safe travels. You're on your way. This was a gift. This is a gift that God is giving you for being on your right path. I feel like something happened here that was heartbreaking, and instead of giving up, you had the courage to keep going and go after your dreams in some way. And then we have manifesting. So this is coming from the sacral energy, which isn't surprising on the page of Wands. And so this energy is about being able to manifest through your sacral energy. That's where a lot of our creativity comes from. And then we have Sagittarius, going on adventures. And the thing is that at the time like that, the full moon, the energy is going to change quite a bit. Gemini is directly across from Sagittarius in the chart. And this energy has been kind of frustrated, because it's kind of like wanting to expand, but it hasn't been able to. And then all of a sudden, there's realignments of several of the planets, and Mercury is now moving forward again, so the communication is more clear, allowing a different, more adventure in everybody's life. So I feel like on this scenario could be several, and it's actually quite if someone did pass, my condolences. But having said that, I'm getting that it was maybe someone that was older that was ready to go, and unfortunately, if it was an accident, my condolences. But this is kind of like how life is, like we keep moving on, and this is giving, I feel like, people this astrological reading is also saying, hey, you want to be a little bit like a toddler right now, like as we move into this new way of being, recognize that you don't know it all anymore, because this is going to be a new energy. And if you work with the energy, you will probably have way more enjoyment than if you don't work with the energy. That's what I'm getting. So I hope you've enjoyed this and it's been beneficial for you. If so, please do like and comment, and consider subscribing if you resonate with the energy of my channel. I will be back with another reading for you. I'm considering if I have time to do a new moon as a bonus reading, but for sure I'll do one for the end of the month of December for you. And bye for now, Taurus.